Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire spent the first 2 rounds of their fight toe-to-toe slugging it out with neither fighter wanting to give ground. Both fighters were planting their feet on the ground with their hands up and really sitting down on every punch they threw. Inoue was getting the better of the exchanges and started building confidence. He was able to take round 1 and was on his way to winning round 2 when this happened. While both fighters are in the pocket, Donaire shoots a right hand that Inoue ducks under. However, one of the best follow-up punches to throw after the right hand is the left hook, which is Donaire's money punch. The right hand transfers Donaire's weight to his front foot, which simultaneously loads up his left hook and brings him back into position. Inoue shoots a short left hook that misses, and he doesn't use it to control Donaire's head. Instead, Inoue simply stays in front of Donaire and tries to block a body shot that simply isn't coming. Donaire rips the left hook that breaks Inoue's orbital bone. Keep in mind this is only in round 2. This could have been a quick night at the office for him, but Inoue becomes much more wary of the left hook setups and makes an adjustment after this to prevent that big left hook from landing again for the rest of the fight. So right away the immediate adjustment we see is that Inoue protects his eye with his glove more and begins to move around more on lighter feet. Distance is always the best form of defense. You can't get hit if you're not there to be hit. And this isn't what neutralizes Donaire's left hook, but it certainly made him much harder to hit with it. Inoue begins to stick and move more to protect his eye and also prevent Donaire from loading up on a big left hook. Of course, constantly moving around the ring will tire you out quickly and allows your opponent to cut the ring off. So we're about to take a look at what adjustments Inoue makes in the pocket to neutralize Donaire's left hook. So in the very next round, Inoue uses head control after he misses his punch. Notice Donaire ducks under the right hand, loading himself up for a counter left hook. So instead of retracting his punch and getting cracked like in the previous round, Inoue pushes on Donaire's head to thwart any kind of counter.
Ну и так по движениям.
Donaire tries to set up the left hook again with a right hand, but doesn't set up the right hand, so Inoue counters it with his own right hand while slipping to the outside. Being aware that Donaire uses the right hand to load up his left hook, Inoue remains defensively responsible by stepping out of range so that Donaire can't possibly hit him with the left hook. And this is the same exact situation from last time. Inoue also utilized a sharp, stiff jab to bait out Donaire's right hand and left hook combination, since the straight right hand is a very good jab counter, but Inoue was prepared for this, so let's see what he does. Inoue shoots the jab and Donaire tries to counter with the right hand as expected, so Inoue successfully baited out the right hand and will now counter the left hook that will follow behind it. After pulling away from the counter right hand from Donaire, Inoue pivots to his left and counters Donaire's follow-up shifting left hook with another jab, and he remains defensively responsible by stepping to his left afterwards. Inoue also began to pivot away from Donaire's right hand to avoid it. It worked in round 3 and 4, but I don't like this method of avoiding the right hand, and I'll come back to this later. Here we see a basic awareness of the left hook from Inoue. Once he shoots this straight right hand, he understands that he is open on the same side for a counter left hook. He doesn't even need to see the punch coming. Notice how after he shoots the right hand, he automatically rolls under the left hook. So we see once again Donaire tries to set up a left hook off of a naked straight right hand, and this time Inoue counters the right hand with the aforementioned left hook on the open side. And then Inoue understands Donaire was using the right hand to load up a left hook, so Inoue simply steps away and out of danger. Okay, so as previously mentioned, Inoue would pivot to his left to avoid Donaire's right hand. The reason I said I didn't like this method is because Inoue would do this at close range. All Donaire has to do to make his right hand connect is to anticipate the pivot and throw where Inoue's head is going to be, since he's still in range. What Inoue has to do first is create distance, then pivot, so if he pivots while still in range, Donaire could just track his head and land the punch. So we see Donaire beautifully make the adjustment and shoot the right hand where Inoue was pivoting into. Since Inoue didn't step back to create distance before pivoting, he was still in range to be hit. And I just wanted to highlight this moment right here. So later in the fight, Inoue was so used to neutralizing Donaire's left hook that here later in the fight in round 8, he falls asleep at straight punch range, so at the range where he could be hit by straight punches. So here you see him neutralize the left hook by pushing off and pushing Donaire away from left hook range, but he falls asleep and doesn't realize that he's still in range for a straight punch. So you see him right here eat this right hand that breaks his nose. You know, he neutralizes the left hook that broke his orbital bone, but then he eats this right hand that breaks his nose. And then Inoue behaves like a true champion, stays in the fight, and rallies back to score this beautiful knockdown. And that's all I've got for this one. I thought it'd be important for me to throw in here that I stayed up all night to watch this fight. It's a real shame that most of the American audience probably missed out on this fight due to the time it took place, because it was truly epic to watch. I was extremely sleepy by the time the fight came on, and by the end of it, I was so pumped up I couldn't sleep for hours after. I'm genuinely proud of both fighters for what they did in the ring. Inoue, the up-and-coming phenom who kept calm when facing adversity for the first time, and Donaire, the old legend, who has had a few rough fights where he didn't look like he came to fight, but I tell you what, this time he came to fucking fight. He was going for it until the very end, despite being down on the cards and on the canvas. There's nothing left for the old champ to prove. The fire could be passed on to the next generation. As always, thank you all for watching. If you liked what you've seen and want to see more, please click the red button to subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.
Most of phase into the entertainment center. Sight of a plane descended into Ukraine. It can a double Bermuda triangle and attempted to make a safe insinuating anyone who ain't affiliated. It could be danger to Jamaica arrangements with the gangsters who you came here. In a dimension.